This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. I am muting y'all's. Mute all. Close. Okay, hopefully you can still hear me. Cute little baby there. You can't hear me? Can you hear me still? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Yeah, okay. All right, let's do this. Let's do this, you guys. I won't put you on the spot today, Karen, because I know you got your own ways. They're like, what is that? I love it. You're a big teacher. You're like, I wanted to be the star. Okay. Hi, friends. Thank you so much for being here. Just a couple announcements. I have my once per month embodiment class. It's called Embodiment. This Saturday, it's 7 p.m. to 8:30. It's yoga, breathwork, and sound. So 3 of my favorite things. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'd love to have you. And then also just throwing it out there, if you're looking for something fun this summer, I have 2 retreats that still need a few spots filled. So Ireland, the last week of June, and I'm doing both of these with Kim Dastrup. So Ireland is the last week of June. Spain is the first week of July. Ireland will be probably like nice and cool, and then Spain will be quite hot. So what do you like? I don't know. And then, yeah, all the information for those is on my website. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. My website's just my name, KatieSchiffgenYoga.com. Today. So let's go ahead and get started. Come to a comfortable seat if you're not there already. And if you want, just move a little bit, kind of get your wiggles out. Maybe roll your shoulders out, roll your head side to side. Maybe even stretch your arms up. So anything that would feel good before settling in. And then eventually, no rush, just close your eyes, rest your hands somewhere intentionally in your lap, or hands to heart, or even one hand to your heart space, one hand to your belly. And then as you come into stillness, just notice. So see if you can let go of anything that happened earlier this morning on your way to class, anything that's happening later. Just be right here in this moment. Feel yourself in this space on your mat and in your body. And without any judgment, just notice what's flowing through you today. So if there are any emotions present, any sensation present, even discomfort, allow it to be there. Notice the rise and fall of your breath. And next time you inhale very intentionally, just breathe in as big as you can, breathe in as much air as you can, fill up. Hold at the very top in fullness. And then open your mouth and sigh it out. Let it go. Ah. Very nice. Do that a couple more times. So great big inhale. Fill up. Pause. Let that breath circulate around inside. And then when you're ready, let it go. Sigh it out. Ah. Good. One more time, just like that. Huge inhalation. Imagine you can breathe into every single little space, out into your fingers, down into your toes, up into the crown of your head. And when you're ready, just let it go. Seal your lips and begin to cultivate Ujjayi breath. So inhale is like a really deep, slow motion gasp. Exhale is like you're fogging up a window with your lips sealed on top of the breath. So start to create that whisper noise, that oceanic sound with your big, slow, deep breaths. See if you can really hear and feel your breath as it moves through the back of your throat. So you're using the little muscles in the back of your throat just to regulate your breath. Same way you would pinch a balloon to let the air out really, really slowly. That's what we're doing with our breath. You can stay here as long as you want to. So feel free to take your time, just connecting to your own internal rhythm, your own internal cadence. And then if you want to start to move from your seat, feel free. Whenever you're ready, come forward to hands and knees, tabletop position, and just start to move either through cat-cow, or maybe start to circle your hips all the way around. So anything that would feel good in your body, just to kind of get warm, to create more space, and to really notice how your physical body is doing this morning. So see if you can notice not only what feels really good, but also what feels a little tight, a little stiff, maybe a little bit sore or tender. And as you begin movement, don't forget about your breath. Don't lose track of it. Keep it slow, keep it steady, keep it spacious. Nice, you guys. So once you're on your hands and your knees, really getting into your spine, the mobility there. Maybe you want to sit back into a child pose and just rest there. Find a sense of grounding there. Maybe you want to stretch your forearms or your wrists. So feel free to spin your fingers out to the sides or even back towards your knees. And just kind of find a little rock side to side, forward and back, or even around in circles. Really nice, everybody. And I'd say in your next few rounds, next 3, 4, 5 breaths, no rush, to start a transition back to your first down dog. So maybe you want to move through a vinyasa to get back to down dog. Maybe you want to hover your knees right above the ground in your tabletop position. And then ever so slowly take your hips up and back. So you do you. Once you arrive in your down dog, keep that exploration going. Keep those big, deep breaths flowing through. Maybe pedal out your heels or shift your weight from side to side or give your head a little shake, yes or no. So especially in this first down dog, don't worry about getting your legs completely straight or your heels flat on the ground. If that happens for you naturally, awesome. But for me, I really like to keep a big bend in my knees, especially for my first down dog, and just work the length from my fingertips all the way up to my sit bones. Sometimes I like to take my feet out wide to the width of my mat and transfer my weight from side to side. So press into right hand, press back through left heel and shift your hips to the left, and then switch it up. You could even windshield wiper your heels side to side, roll onto the inner edge of one foot, outer edge of the other, and then switch it up a few times. So lots of ways to explore, lots of ways to create space in your down dog. See if you can find a connection to your center. So imagine there is a rope attached to your belly button. Nice, Eileen, and it's pulling up. It's tugging towards the top corner of the back wall. So feel that lift that comes from your center rather than all of your weight going down into your hands and your wrists. Use your core strength. Use your breath. Take one more big inhale into your down dog. And then exhale, gaze forward to the top of your yoga mat. And however you want to get there, forward fold. Once you have arrived, find a halfway lift position and pause in your halfway lift. Bring your feet at least hips width distance apart if they're not already. All 10 toes face directly forward. And then bend your left knee a lot. Bring your left fingertips or left hand to the ground. Reach your right arm to the sky for a twist. See if you can stay really grounded and rooted through the inner edge of your right foot. And then imagine you're trying to drag your right hip towards the back of the room as you reach the crown of your head forward. Work the length through your right leg. So right leg is as straight as it will go for you. And then breathe down into your belly. So feel your belly expand with your inhales. And as you exhale, twist from your center. Take one more round. Nice job. End of your exhale, let it go and switch to the other side. So this time, right knee bends a lot, right fingertips on the ground, left arm to the sky. Pull your left hip back in space as you reach forward through the crown of your head. So it's not a forward fold with a twist, halfway lift with a twist. Your spine is long. Breathe all the way down, low belly, low back. Use your exhale to wring out gently. Empty out, twist to your edge. One more breath. Good work. End of your exhalation, let it go. And just hang out in your forward fold for a moment. So if you want, maybe a nice easy ragdoll pose. Maybe hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, the base of your skull, give the back of your neck some traction. You might bounce or bob or sway. But try to keep your weight just slightly forward. So if I had a little piece of paper and I wanted to slide it underneath your heels from behind, it'd be really easy for you to just pick up your heels off the ground. So weight more in your toes and the balls of your feet, and then focus on lifting your butt as high as you can. You can have a big bend in your knees. As long as you focus on lifting your sit bones, you'll still feel that stretch in the backs of your legs. Let your neck relax, let your head be heavy, let your face be soft. Take one more round right here. Next time you inhale, take a halfway lift one more time. So find that length, realign. Exhale, bow and fold. Root through your feet, lead with your heart, rise to stand all the way up. Arms to the sky. And hands to heart center as you exhale. Flow with your breath. Inhale, stretch your arms up, reach, lengthen. Exhale, take your slow dive down and then fold it. As you breathe in, lift halfway. So as much length and strength as you can find in your back body. Back muscles hug your spine. Exhale, fold, let it go, all the way to empty in your breath. And then feet root down, heart leads, rise up, arms reach up. Hands to heart center, exhale. One more time, breath to movement. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Let your breath guide you down slowly. So feel your body as it moves through space. You are not in a rush. Nice, Jhana, inhale, lift halfway, spinal extension, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold and bow. Press into your feet, lead with your heart, all the way back to stand, arms reach, maybe you even gaze up. Hands to heart center, exhale. All right, inhale, take your arms up. And then grab your left wrist with your right hand. Keep your left shoulder back and down, plugged into the socket. up and over to the right side. So you're trying to create a crescent moon shape with your body. Yeah, and if there's another variation that you want to work with, totally fine with me. You want more weight in your left foot, and then reach your hips towards the windows as you pull your upper body towards the opposite wall. Breathe into your left waistline, rib cage. Nice, Mikkel. One more full round. Inhale back through center. Switch your grip. So grab your right wrist and then other side, up and over, as much length as you can create. More of your weight is now in your right foot. Hips move to the right as your upper body reaches to the left. Keep your shoulder back and down. So bicep next to your ear rather than in front of your face. Breathe into your right side. Huge full body breaths. One more. Inhale back up. And as you exhale, let it all go down into your fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Lift halfway, lengthen up. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Step back to plank position. We're going to go right into a side plank today. So right hand is your foundation. Roll to the baby toe edge of your right foot, left arm to the sky. If you want to come down to your right knee or even your right forearm, you are more than welcome to do so. If you don't have your bottom knee on the ground, see if you can lift your hips higher. Yeah. And then maybe reach your left arm forward, bicep next to your ear, and feel that length in your left side. So you're trying to create that same crescent moon shape, but now you're just in a different position relative to the ground. Good job. See if you can even float your left leg up. So your fullest expression, give it everything you've got. Take one more round of breath. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. End of your exhale, plank or modified plank. Take an inhale to prepare and push the ground away. Find your strength. Exhale to slowly lower down. Good. Stay low. Baby cobra today. So lift your chest using the strength in your back rather than the strength in your arms. Point your elbow tips straight back behind you. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Press down into your shoelaces, your pelvis, and then little tone in your belly. So draw your belly button in and up. See if you can keep your legs down, keep your heart lifted, and then float your hands up. Reach your hands back towards your heels. Again, try not to lift your legs. So rather than using your glutes, let your back muscles do the work. Breathe, soften around it. So rather than straining through your face, soften. Take one more inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine, lift. Exhale, let it go. Good job. Take one more back bend variation of your choice, one more heart opener. And you might even take a couple breaths there if it feels good. As you are ready, just a tabletop position, just hands and knees, all fours. So from your hands and your knees, first, find your strength and stability. Spread your fingers very wide and actively push the ground away. So you feel your arms, your shoulders, your chest, your pectoral muscles even start to fire up. Take your right arm forward and your left leg back, spinal balance. If you want to modify, you can work with just your leg. Both hands can stay on the ground and just your left leg extends back. So go for a strong, straight line of energy from your fingertips all the way back to your heel. Gaze down so the back of your neck is long, and then notice if it feels like your low back is kind of crunching up or sinking down. Draw your belly button in and up, almost like you're trying to puff up through your low back. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, slow motion, elbow to knee, like you're moving through molasses. Curl in, hollow out, empty out. Nice, Liz. Inhale, long, strong, and powerful. Exhale, slowly, elbow to knee, round, hollow out, navel to spine, all the way to empty. Awesome, Cam. Inhale, reach, re-extend. And just one more time. Exhale, elbow to knee, curl in. See if you can round even through your mid back. Inhale, reach. Nice, Mari. And then as you exhale, reach your right arm towards the back of the room. Bend your left knee, heel towards your butt. Press into your left fingertips. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. So not just your head, but see if you can lift your heart. Perfect place to stay if it is available. Grab hold of your ankle or the top of your foot. Once you've got it, start to work your pose with gentle leverage. So kick and pull. Hug in with your inner thighs. Nice, Hans, to stay out of your low back. And see if you can feel your breath move all the way down into your low belly. Nice work. Take one more round. Your fullest expression. Ah, good. And then let it go slowly. Come back to spinal balance. Inhale, neutral spine. Reach forward and back. Nice, Kate. And then exhale, set everything down. Set up for a dolphin pose. So come down to your forearms. Grab opposite elbows if that's helpful. So that's how far apart you want your arms. And then forearms parallel, palms face down, fingers spread wide. Press especially into thumbs and index. If you want to modify, you can interlace your fingers instead. Relax your neck. And then as you are ready, tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips, dolphin. Yeah. So as you lift your hips up, don't let your elbows drift apart. Keep hugging in with your upper arms. Keep pressing down through the belly of your forearm so your head is not touching the ground. See if you can walk your toes in just a tiny bit closer and lift your hips just a little bit higher. That invisible rope, it's attached to your belly button, pulling straight up towards the sky. Awesome. Jana, stay where you're at, or option to take your right leg up. And then use the strength and power in your right leg to lift you out of your upper body, to take weight out of your arms. Stay here, or if you want to play with just a couple little hops towards forearm stand, feel free. So maybe use your left leg as a springboard. You do not have to arrive. Just be playful. Last couple breaths, wherever you've chosen to go with it. Hug in with your elbows, press down through your forearms, soften your face. Nice work. End of your next exhale. Set your right foot down. Bring your knees down for a moment. And then we're going to sit back into a screaming toe pose. So curl your toes under, sit back onto your heels, hips to heels. Knees are about hips width distance apart, feet about hips width distance apart. If this feels like a lot for your feet, you can keep your hands on the ground behind you to take some, or on the ground in front of you to take some weight off. As much as you're able to, sit up nice and tall, hug in with your inner heels so they're not drifting apart. You can rest your hands just on your thighs, or if there's some way you want to stretch through your shoulders or work through your arms, feel free. Take about 3 to 5 deep breaths. So allowing the heat to build in your feet. Send your breath down into it. This is really good for your plantar fascia, the soft tissue, soles of your feet. Feel free to exhale out your mouth at any time. Unclench your jaw, soften through your forehead, eyebrows, eyelids. Last couple rounds. Good. End of your next exhale. Come forward to hands and knees. Untuck your toes. Might feel nice to give your feet a little pitter-patter tap against the ground. Maybe you even lift your feet and kind of roll out through your ankles, point and flex. As you are ready, downward facing dog. Take it back and feel all that awareness in your feet now. Ujjayi breath. Reconnect if you've lost it. Inhale, take your right leg to the sky. Yes, nice, Peter. So find strength, length, and power through your right leg. See if you can square off your hips. So just like in our spinal balance, when we're reaching forward and back, our hips are square. Same thing here. Make your right leg powerful. Feel the connection to your center. So your left inner thigh is hugging in. Your belly button is lifting up. Take one more big inhale, right leg long, strong, active through your right foot. Exhale, right knee to your left elbow or as close as you can come. Push the ground away as you come forward. Yeah, nice, Liz. Inhale back up, stretch and lengthen. Exhale, right to right towards your elbow or even aim for your armpit. Nice, Kate. Inhale back up, lengthen. And then last one, knee to your nose, scoop out your belly, round through your spine. Step forward softly, low lunge. Rise as you are ready, crescent lunge. So front knee over your front ankle, high on the ball of your back foot. The stability comes by hugging towards midline. So imagine you're trying to pull your front hip back hip forward, plug the femur bones into the hip sockets, feel your strong foundation. Lift your heart, tone your belly. So you're not squeezing your abdominals, but you are drawing your belly button in and up. So your lowest, deepest abdominals are engaging to support your low back. Take one more big inhale here. As you exhale, turbo twist to the right, left arm forward, right arm back, bend your back knee to a hover. Now really imagine you're trying to pull your back thigh forward. Try to keep your weight centered so you're not leaning or reaching forward. Yeah, broaden through your shoulders and your collarbones. Breathe down into your belly. And as you exhale, see if you can twist a little bit further. If you want a balance challenge, gaze back over your right fingertips. Nice work. One more round. Use your exhale to twist, twist, twist. End of your exhale. Listen, bring your right forearm across your low back. Square your shoulders towards the front of the room. Reach your left arm up and then just slightly back. So you can use your right arm as support for your low back. Lift your heart, pump up through your chest. Soften through your face. One more deep breath. Exalted warrior variation. And your exhale, bring your left hand to the ground. Bring your right hand to the ground. Step your back foot forward just about a foot or so for pyramid pose. So both feet flat. I like my feet on 2 train tracks rather than a balance beam. All 10 toes face forward. Inhale to a halfway lift position. So in your halfway lift, see if you can pull your right butt cheek further towards the back of the room. Press back through the very, very top of your right thigh. Tons of length from the crown of your head back to your right sit bone. Take one more huge inhale, lengthen, and then try to keep as much of that length in your low spine as you can. Exhale, fold. So forehead towards your shin, nose towards your knee. Navel towards your spine at the bottom of each exhale. And that's your invitation to dive deeper, to fold further. Big, deep breaths. Good, you guys. Keep pressing back through the top of your right thigh. Keep lifting your right butt cheek up. So that invisible rope, imagine it's attached to your right butt cheek. Now it's pulling up towards the sky. Take 2 more rounds. Work your pose with your breath. Nice, Marriott. Good, everybody. End of your next exhale. Root into your right foot. You can bend your right knee for a moment, crawl your hands forward a little bit, and then just float your back leg to the sky, standing splits. So one-legged forward fold is really all it is. Rather than gazing forward and straining your neck, just let your neck relax. Gaze is somewhere behind you or maybe even up. Make your left leg strong, left foot active. If there's any way you want to play here, go for it. Maybe right arm behind right leg, maybe handstand hops. You've got about 2 or 3 more breaths. Remember, rather than feeling like all of your weight is coming down, use your core strength to lift. Get energy to move up. Use the strength in your left leg. Take one more inhale. Very nice. Exhale, forward fold. Set your left foot down on the top of your mat. You can give your right leg a little shake out if you'd like. Good job, friends. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale, fold, walk your feet out to the width of your yoga mat. So feet nice and wide. And then pivot your toes out, heels in, come down into a low yogi squat. Elbows to your inner knees or inner thighs, hands to heart. If this does not work for your knees, you can always widen your stance so you're framing your mat with your feet and stay up a little bit higher. Otherwise, down in your yogi squat, see if you can lengthen your spine. So rather than rounding, imagine you're a turtle coming out of its shell. Crown reaches up, shoulders broaden. As much as you're able to, see if you can bring your weight more into your heels, maybe even pick up your toes and spread them apart. Yeah. Breathe down into your hips and your groin. 2 more big, deep breaths. Ah. Good job. End of your next exhale, fingertips down, lift your hips up. You can heel toe your feet back in, hips width distance or big toes touch, whatever you prefer. On an inhalation, find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold, let it go. Root through your feet, rise up, arms to the sky, big full body stretch. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, inhale, take your arms up. And side body stretch to your right. You can take your own variation if you want to, all the way to empty in your breath. Inhale back through center. Switch it up. Exhale, up and over to the other side. Inhale back to center. Baby back bend. Cactus your arms. Make it come from your mid and your upper back, not so much low back. Curl open. Inhale, re-extend. And as you exhale, stick your butt out behind you. Take it all the way down. Forward fold. Nice work. Lift halfway. Breathe in. Lengthen. Exhale. Plant your hands. Feet back. Plank position. Pause. And then we've got side plank. Vashisthasana. This time, left hand is your base. So roll onto the baby toe edge of your left foot. Yes, lift your hips as high as you can. If you want to modify, no big deal. Left knee can come down, left forearm can come down. Option to take your right arm forward so your bicep is next to your ear and work the length through your right side. Nice, Amber. Option to float your right leg up. As you float your right leg up, see if you can lift your hips even higher. So your fullest expression. One more great big huge breath. Ah, good. Slowly with control, back to plank or modified plank. Spread your fingers, push the ground away. Inhale. Exhale all the way to your belly. One strong straight line. Baby cobra, so stay low. Lift your heart using the strength in your back. So just like we did before, press down through shoelaces, pelvis, tone your belly, shoulders back and down, elbow tips point back. With your hands, imagine you're trying to drag your chest forward. So rather than pushing down, energetically pull back. See if you can keep your heart lifted just as high. Float your hands up, reach your hands back towards your heels. This time, go ahead and float your feet up as well. Hug in with your inner thighs. So rather than separating your legs, hug towards midline. Imagine you're trying to rotate your inner thighs in and up towards the ceiling. See if you can find more strength in your mid back. It helps me if I bend my elbows and try to squeeze them together behind my back like they're magnetized. Take one more full round of breath. Lift, lift, lift. Yes, end of your exhale. Let it go. Nice job. For just a moment, take it back into a child's pose. Couple restorative grounding breaths in your child's pose. Breathe into your low back. Nice job, everybody. Inhale, tabletop position, hands and knees. Spread your fingers, press the ground actively away from your body. And then left arm forward, right leg back this time. And if you just want to work with your leg, totally fine. Both hands can stay on the ground as you extend your right leg back. If you're working with your arm and your leg and your spinal balance, go for a strong straight line rather than a smiley face shape. So your belly button pulls in and up, gaze down, back of your neck long, and then like you're going to shake somebody's hand, reach through your fingertips, press through your back foot. One more in-breath. Nice, Kirsten. Exhale, elbow to knee, round, hollow out like you're moving through honey. Slow, controlled. Inhale, lengthen. And with your breath, again, elbow to knee, curl in, hollow out, empty out. Inhale, get long, strong, and powerful. And one more time with your exhalation, all the way to empty, elbow to knee, hollow out. Inhale, reach. Nice, Liz. Exhale, reach your left arm towards the back of the room. Bend your right knee, heel towards your butt cheek. Press into your right fingertips, lift your heart, gaze forward. If it's available, grab your foot or your ankle, and then start to work your pose with gentle leverage, kick and pull. Try not to kick your right knee out to the right, but instead hug in with your inner thighs. Breathe down into your belly, lift through your heart, and just feel whatever there is to feel. Notice whatever there is to notice. One more full round. Make your right foot active. See if you can spread your toes. Nice job. Very end of your exhale, slow release. Come back to your spinal balance. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, tabletop, and then set up for another dolphin pose. Come down to your forearms. Grab opposite elbows if that's helpful. Forearms either parallel, fingers spread wide, palms face down, or interlace for a little less intensity. As you're ready, neck is relaxed, so let your head be heavy. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and lift your hips. See if you can walk your toes in a little bit closer than you did before. Lift your hips just a tiny bit higher than you thought you could. Keep hugging in with your upper arms, with your elbows. So don't let your elbows drift wider than your shoulders. Keep pressing actively through the belly of your forearms. Imagine that invisible rope. It's pulling straight up towards the sky. It's connected to your belly button. Stay where you are at, or left leg floats up. Left leg strong and powerful. Use the power in your left leg to take some weight out of your upper body. Use your breath. If you want to play, take little tiny hops. Right leg is your springboard. Feel free. Good, everybody. If you're holding in regular dolphin, see if you can press your chest towards the back of the room, even just a little bit more. Take your last 2 rounds. Sigh it out your mouth if you want. Nice, Hans. Good job, everybody. End of your second exhalation. Left foot comes down, knees come down. Keep your toes curled under, feet and knees about hips width distance apart. Sit back onto your heels for screaming toe. So your heels aren't touching each other. They're just a little, they're hips width distance apart, but rather than letting your heels fall outwards, hug in. You can do whatever you want with your arms. Just rest your hands in your lap, or maybe interlace your fingers behind your back. Reverse namaste if that's in your practice. Breathe. If it feels like too much at any point, you can bring your hands to the ground in front of you. Take a little bit of weight off. Come back when you're ready. Send your breath. Good modification, Jana. Send your breath down into your feet. Soften your face, so not clenching, not tightening through your jaw or your forehead. Yeah, last couple rounds. Let the heat build and you just breathe into it, soften around it. Ah, good job. Go ahead and come forward to hands and knees, untuck your toes. Give them that little pitter-patter tap against the ground. Maybe you even pick up your feet, point and flex, roll out your ankles. Whenever you're ready, downward facing dog. Take it all the way back. And maybe take a moment, walk out your dog. Find your Ujjayi breath. Next time you inhale, left leg to the sky. So if you want to open your hip for just a moment, feel free. But then eventually square off your hips. So inner thighs face each other. Left leg is powerful. Squeeze through the front of your left thigh. So feel your left quad muscle firing. Take one more big inhale here. Exhale, left knee towards your right elbow. Push the ground away as you come forward. Navel to spine connection. Inhale, re-extend, lengthen. Exhale, left to left. Aim high. Aim for your armpit. Push the ground away. Inhale, excuse me, re-extend. Get long, strong, and powerful. Exhale, knee to your nose. So scoop out your belly all the way to empty. Then step forward ever so softly. Rise up, crescent lunge as you're ready. So front knee over front ankle. High on the ball of your back foot. Hips square. So your back hip faces straight forward and energetically pull your back hip forward, pull your front hip back. Real tone in your lowest, deepest abdominals. It's your transverse abdominis. So you want to feel that little bit of support through your low spine, that length through your low spine. Lift your heart, maybe even lift your gaze. Take one more big inhale as you reach. And then exhale, turbo twist. Right arm forward and left arm swings back. Bend your back knee to a hover. Or if you want, you can bring your back knee down towards the ground or down to the ground for a little modification. Keep your weight nice and centered so you're not leaning or reaching forward. Breathe. Breathe down into your belly. Use your exhales to twist a little further. If you want that extra balance challenge, gaze back over your left fingers. Yes, very nice. Take one more round. Use your exhale to twist to your very edge. End of your exhale, left forearm across your low back. Square your shoulders forward. Reach your right arm up and just slightly back. You can keep the bend in your back knee. See if you can feel this more in your mid and your upper back, less in your low back. So you might use your forearm against your low back for support. Breathe. Puff up through your chest. One more inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. Bring your right hand down. Bring your left hand down. Good. And then pyramid stance. So step your back foot forward just a foot or so. It depends how long your legs are. You want both feet flat on the ground. And again, I like my feet on 2 train tracks rather than a balance beam. Halfway lift position. So lengthen your spine, back of your neck long, crown reaches forward. And as you reach your crown forward, see if you can pull your left hip further back. See if you can press back even more through the very, very top of your left thigh. So it's like somebody has their hand in the crease of your hip and they're literally pulling back. Create that action yourself with your own awareness. Take one more inhale. Exhale to work your fold. So forehead towards your shin, nose towards your knee, navel towards your spine. Hands can be on the ground, on blocks, or resting on your front shin, or even hands to hips if it helps. Use your breath. Every single exhalation, there's your invitation to dive just a little bit deeper. So you're actually using your strength to create more mobility. As you exhale, your belly button pulls in and up. See if you can get your forehead just a little closer to your shin. Take your last couple rounds. If you feel a little shake, a little tremble in your leg, that's a good thing. It's a growing edge. Breathe into it, soften around it. End of your next exhalation, you can bend your front knee, walk your hands forward, float your back leg to the sky for standing splits. So your hips can be open or your hips can stay square. It's totally up to you. Neither one is right or wrong. It's more just personal preference and what you want to get out of the pose. So hug in with your left inner thigh, lift from your center, relax your neck, breathe. If there's any way you want to explore or play here, go for it. So maybe little hops, maybe left arm behind left leg, hand behind ankle, forearm behind calf, elbow behind knee. Use your breath deeper with your exhales. Take one last inhale, maybe reach your right toes just a little higher, maybe spread your right toes. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot down. You can give your left leg a nice little shake out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow and fold. Root through your feet, take it all the way to stand, arms to the sky, lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, working with balance for just a moment. So root into your right foot and bring your left heel towards your left butt cheek. Reach your left hand back, grab the top of your left foot. Once you've got it, knees towards one another. So find midline, hug towards midline. Left shoulder, rather than rolling forward, see if you can roll it back and down. Perfect place to stay. Tuck your tailbone a little bit to work the stretch in your left quad a little more. If you want to go further, right arm to the sky. Bring your left hand to the inside edge of your left foot, the big toe edge. Little bend in your standing leg. It's like your shock absorbers. Start to hinge at your hip. So right hip hinges. And then once you're hinging forward, leverage your pose. Kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. See if you can lift your heart, not your head, but your heart. Little cobra in your chest, gaze forward, breathe. Hug in with your inner thighs, spread through your toes. Take 2 more rounds. Your pose, your expression. If you fall out, cool. Come back in when you're ready. Let's come out of it really slowly. So slow, slow, slow. If possible, stay balanced on your right foot. Standing staff, left knee out in front of your body, both arms to the sky. Hug in with your inner thighs. Balancing just a tiny bit longer. One more inhale. And exhale, set your left foot down. Dive down into your fold. Lift halfway as you breathe in. And exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. This time, vinyasa however you would like. So you can add push-ups, you can take it on your knees. You can substitute cat-cows, end up in a child's pose, no rush. Yeah, big deep breaths into your low back. Feel free to sigh out your mouth at any time. Ah. And then in your next couple of breaths, downward facing dog. All right. From your dog pose, next inhale, right leg to the sky. And this time, everybody, open up your hips. So bend your knee, reach your knee out to the right and then up towards the ceiling. So it's like your right hip is a hinge on the door. Your right leg is the door. It just swings open. So you should feel a stretch in the front of your right hip. Stay strong through your hands, strong through your shoulders. This is a perfect place to stay. If you like it here, stay here. Otherwise, option to flip your dog, come into a 3-legged back bend. So step your right foot down behind you. Yeah, nice, Peter. Lift your hips, back muscles strong. Beautiful, Mari. See if you can look forward at the front wall. Even let your heart look forward. One more big round of breath. Beautiful, friends. Come back. Three-legged down dog, square off your hips. So feel that big difference of square hips, open hips. Learn to articulate through your hip joint. Take one more inhale, right leg long and strong. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of your space. And then I rarely ever teach this pose, warrior one. So back heel pivots down. I like to bring my feet again onto two train tracks rather than a balance beam. Rise up as you are ready. So for warrior one, it's different than warrior two. Your back toes are facing out to the left and also slightly forward. You're intending to work your hips towards square, just like you would in crescent. So front hip pulls back hip pulls forward. Take one more inhale, little tone in your belly as you lift your heart. Exhale, bring your right hand to the crease in your right hip, straighten your front leg, and use your right hand to pull your right hip back even further, like you're throwing a football towards the front right corner of the room with your left arm. Start to reach forward. When you can't reach anymore, twisted triangle, revolve triangle. So if possible, left hand to the outside of your right foot. Personally, I usually just go for the inner edge, so feel free to just go inner edge of right foot, right arm to the sky. Yeah. Keep pulling your right hip back. Keep pressing back through the top of your right thigh. Twist from your center. This is so uncomfortable, I know. See if you can breathe all the way down into your belly. Just 2 more breaths. Open through the right side of your heart. Reach up, open up. One last inhale. Exhale to work your twist even further. And then end of your exhale, let it all go. Nice job. Step forward, forward, fold. Give your right leg a nice little shake out. Pedal out your heels or anything else that would feel good. Halfway lift position. Breathe in and then exhale, fold. Pause in your fold. Bend your knees a lot. Bring your arms to the outsides of your legs. Hands behind ankles, forearms behind calves, elbows behind knees. So you can be almost in a chair pose with your legs to start. And then once you've got your arms behind your legs, start to press arms into legs, legs back into arms. See if you can lift your butt up towards the sky. Reach the crown of your head down towards the ground. Lift from your center. Yeah, so it's an active forward fold. Breathe. Arms press into legs, legs press back into arms. One more round. Good job, you guys. End of your exhale, let it go. Let your arms just hang and roll up to stand really, really slow. So slow, slow, slow. Take your time. At the very top, your head stacks. Maybe you even take a few little rolls with your shoulders. And then just find your mountain pose with your arms by your sides, standing tall, standing well, standing with awareness. Feel your breath. Left foot is your foundation. Right heel towards your right butt cheek. Reach back, grab hold of your right foot. Once you've got it, it's like your inner knees are trying to kiss each other. They're flirting with each other. So hug in. Right shoulder rolls back and down. This is a great place to stay if you want just that quad stretch. Imagine you're aiming your tailbone down towards the ground. Stay right here. Perfect. Otherwise, left arm reaches up. Bring your right hand to the inside edge of your right foot, the big toe edge. Little shock absorbers through your left leg, so a little bend in your knee, and then start to hinge at your left hip as you kick, foot in the hand, pull hand back into foot. So try to keep your hips square rather than turning open to the right. Yeah. Nice, Eileen. And then maybe a little lift in your heart like you're doing a baby cobra. Nice work. Breathe. Hug in with your inner thighs. 2 more rounds. Active through your toes. Spread your toes. Good. If you fall out, that's where you're at today. Meet yourself there. Be compassionate. Be playful. It's just a practice. Let's try to stay balanced on our left foot. Coming into standing staff slowly. So right knee out in front of you, both arms to the sky. I didn't say this last time, but if you want, feel free to extend your right leg. One more big in breath. Exhale, set your right foot down, even out your weight, dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, vinyasa your way. Child's pose is where you will eventually end up. So in your child's pose, your knees can be really wide with your big toes touching, or maybe you like your knees together, maybe somewhere in between. So feel into it. You can swivel your hips side to side a little bit if that would feel good. You can roll your forehead side to side against your mat. Breathe down into your low back. Breathe down into your hips. A couple more grounding breaths. Maybe even a sigh or two out your mouth. And then downward facing dog. Ujjayi breath. So fire it up just a little bit longer. Use your breath. Breathe through the rest of your practice. From your down dog, inhale, take your left leg to the sky. And then from your left hip joint, see if you can find that opening. So bend your knee, reach your knee out to the left and up. Stack your left hip on top of right. Feel the stretch in the front of your left hip. Perfect place to stay. If you want to stay here, breathe here. Awesome. Otherwise, flip your dog. Left foot comes down. Left arm either reaches forward, or sometimes I like to bring my left hand behind my head. As you press your head into your hand back into your head, you might even lift your heart a little higher. Yeah, back muscles strong. One more round of breath, your fullest expression. Nice, Amber. End of your exhale, come back. Three-legged down dog. Square off your hips. So feel the difference. Yes, nice work. Nice, Kate. One more inhale. Use your core to step your left foot forward as you exhale. Warrior one, rise as you are ready. So back heel pivots down, back foot at about a 30-degree angle. So your toes face a little out to the right and a little bit forward. Yeah, personally, I like my feet on 2 railroad tracks rather than a balance beam. If it feels better for you to keep your feet on a balance beam, that's fine. But remember, we're going for square hips. So rather than opening your hips like you would in Warrior 2, you're pulling left hip back, right hip forward. A little tone in your low, deep abdominals. Lift your heart, maybe even lift your gaze. Settle in. Breathe. One more inhale. And as you exhale, left hand to your left hip or the crease at the front of your hip, pull your left hip back, straighten your front leg. And then again, like you're aiming a football towards the front left corner of the room, start to hinge forward, pull your left hip back, reach. When you can't reach anymore, right hand down, left arm up for your revolve triangle. Your right hand can be on the outside of your left foot if that's available. Otherwise, inside of left foot, totally fine. Good. Nice, Mikkel. Open through the left side of your heart. Reach up through your left fingertips, maybe even gaze up at your left fingertips. 2 more deep breaths, working your pose. Work your front leg as straight as you can. Stay rooted through the inner edge of your front foot. Twist from your center. End of your exhale. See if you can twist just a tiny bit further. And then let it go. Good job. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Listen. Keep your right foot rooted. Step your left foot back. So you're in a low lunge. And we're just going to come into a wide-legged straddle position. So hands over to the left long edge of your mat. Yeah, parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. Halfway lift on an in-breath. You can reach your arms out to both sides if you want, like you have great big wings. And then whenever you're ready, either fold, or if there's anywhere else you want to work today, go for it, about 5 breaths. We're only taking this one time. So if you want to go for a headstand, now would be your time. If you want to take a twist, now would be your time. If you're working your wide-legged fold, just like you would in a regular forward fold, try not to rock back into your heels. Lift your butt as high as you can, crown towards the ground, sit bones towards the sky. Soften your face. Big, intentional breaths. Imagine you can breathe down the backs of your legs. Last round if you want, side out your mouth. Come back to your halfway lift. This time, fingertips on the ground, so bend your knees if needed. Walk your hands forward, rotate your toes forward. Now, from here, step your right foot back, plank. Inhale at the top of your push-up. Exhale to slowly lower down to your belly, all the way down to your belly. And then just like we did, more at the beginning of class, stay low, baby cobra. Float your hands up, reach your hands back. Float your feet up, reach your toes back. So locust pose. Option to stay here, or if you want, interlace your fingers or even take your full floor bow. So this is your last belly back bend. Maybe grab hold of your ankles or the tops of your feet, only if it will serve you. Wherever you are at, whatever variation you're in, hug in with your inner thighs. Lift through your heart. Use the mobility in your upper and your mid back. So by hugging in with your inner thighs, you're keeping yourself from just dumping into your low back and crunching up. It's easier to bend from your low back, but it's not as safe or sustainable. Take one more big, deep breath wherever you are at. Nice, Kirsten. End of your exhale. Let it go. You can rest your head to either side. Maybe a little rock of your hips side to side, or even bend your knees and windshield wiper your shins. Breathe down into your low back. Good. I'm just going to say in your next 3 to 5 breaths, however you want to get there. Downward facing dog. So if there's any movement that you want to take in between, go for it. Just a little bit longer. Ujjayi breath. See if you can still hear it flowing through. All right, inhale your right leg to the sky. And exhale, pigeon pose. Right shin forward, set your body down. If you'd rather take this in a seat or on your back for whatever reason, totally fine with me. So take your time to set yourself up intentionally, just like we do in all those other poses. Energetically, pull your front hip back, plug the femur bone into the socket. Keep pulling your front hip back as you take your heart forward and down. Right knee closer to the outer right edge of your mat rather than midline. Yeah, really good awareness, you guys. Big, spacious breaths. So just feeling whatever there is to feel. Noticing whatever there is to notice. No judgment, just observation. They go about 3 more rounds here. If you are on your back or in a seat and you want to stay there, that's totally fine. Just take some movement to neutralize in between sides. If you're in regular pigeon, start to lift your upper body and plant your hands, curl your back toes under. 3-legged down dog. So take your right leg all the way back and up, give it a nice little shake out. Yeah. Whatever would feel good with your right leg lifted and then right foot down and just walk it out. If you want to take a vinyasa before we move to the other side, now would be your time. And then everybody, as you're ready, just find your way into your pigeon with your left shin forward, or if you're working in another way, left shin on top. And big deep breath. Nice lift. See if you can just stay here, stay in your body, stay with your breath. Not needing to go anywhere else or figure anything out or solve any problems. Just allowing yourself to be right here with whatever is flowing through. And surrender I release control and surrender I'm gonna guess around 3 more breaths. Feel free to exhale out your mouth at any time. I'll ultimately just leave it up to you. We all came into it at slightly different times. So when you feel pretty much even on both sides, just find one last transition back to 3-legged dog and then regular down dog. If you're in a seater on your back, you can take one last down dog if you want to, or you can just move however you would like where you are at. Just kind of neutralizing, shaking it out, rocking it out. If you're in down dog and you want one last vinyasa, take it on your own. And then eventually just walk it out in your down dog. Or maybe hold and breathe in all the length and space you've created. Maybe your heels now move a little closer to the earth. Yeah, love all the different movement I'm seeing. Good job, you guys. Those of you in down dog, take one last breath there. Nice, Pete. And then set your knees down and everybody find your way onto your back, however you want to get there, whichever direction you'd like to face. Once you're on your back, hug your knees in. Take a little rock from side to side. After a few rocks, feet on the ground with your knees bent, feet mat width distance apart. So bring your feet out wider than your hips. This will open up some space in your low back. Tee out your arms or cactus your arms and windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Go slowly. So this is a really therapeutic movement if you allow it to be. If you just flop your knees mindlessly from side to side, you won't get much out of it. Move slowly, maybe even flexing through your toes. As your knees fall one direction, your top knee presses forward and down. If you want to stay on one side and hold for a couple of breaths or so, feel free. And then after a few rounds, side to side, and if you're really feeling this, savoring this, you can stay here a little longer. Eventually find a happy baby pose. Hold down with your arms, press up through your heels. You can rock in your happy baby. You can explore, extend one leg and then the other, even both at the same time. Maybe you want to bring your legs together, almost like a plow or a forward fold on your back. Maybe you want to bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart. So any little exploration in your happy baby. And then from your happy baby, if there are any finishing poses, final movements or stretches you want to take before moving into your Shavasana, please do so. Eventually, you just start transitioning into your own final relaxation, whatever that looks like for you today. Maybe the traditional corpse pose. Maybe feet on the ground with knees bent. Maybe arms rest down by your sides, or maybe you want to bring one hand to your heart space, one hand to your belly. And if you want, you can take one big, deep falling out breath just to kind of drop into your own Shavasana. And as you settle in, I have a reading for you by Jeff Foster. He says, there is beauty in doubt. It keeps the mind curious, open, fresh, away from the harshness of conclusions. There is sacredness in sadness. It keeps the heart soft, mellow, fertilized, ready for the emergence of joy. Even your anger is precious. It brims with life, dignity, passion, the longing to be heard, to fight for those without a voice. Do not push away any feeling. Make room for them. Let them move. Be their home. Be their sanctuary. So these last few moments, you are just this wide open space for energy to flow through all feelings, all emotions, all forms of life energy. Be their home, be their sanctuary. Nothing to change or fix or control, just allowing it all. Shavasana. Take a big breath down into your belly. And let it go. Just bring gentle movement into your fingers, toes. Maybe a full body stretch would even feel nice. Your temple massage, forehead massage. There's little bits and pieces of slow, gentle movement, and then eventually roll to either side, curling into a fetal position for just a couple breaths. And as you rest on your side, Just really let your practice, the energy, the effort, anything that came through for you, just let it all settle, sink in, integrate in. Maybe there's even some way you visualize that or imagine that for yourself. Use your arms to slowly guide yourself up into a seat. So right back where we began, just seated meditation, facing forward towards the front of our space. Bring your hands to your heart, close your eyes, and let's seal our practice today with one collective Om. So try not to worry so much about how you sound, but just let your voice move through you. Let that vibration move through you and feel it for yourself. So start by exhaling, emptying out, clear your throat if you need to. Breathe in your voice. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste. Thanks so much, you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Good, I'm glad. It was snowing for a bit, but it looks like it's stopped now, so that's nice. Here you go. So you don't forget it. Thank you so much. I think I put it on Do Not Disturb, so I might want to take it off. Thank you, Hans. To this boy. My beautiful. You're so beautiful. I love you. Oh, wonderful.